And now, Mike's thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before we dive into today's NFL talk, we need to take a moment. We need to take a moment and not talk about just sports or me as a sports host, but as a human being to speak from my heart. Coach Prime, Mr. Deion Sanders himself, guys, have recently revealed that he's been battling an aggressive form of bladder cancer. Let that sink in for a second. It's just not spine, it's just not a sprain. It's just not a surgery. It's life or death for Coach Prime. Let's just be honest about it. He had to go as far as to make a will, thinking he may not be here today. Thankfully, and I mean this from every ounce of gratitude, Coach Prime stood before the media this week and announced that he is cancer-free after surgery. His oncologist said it. He's cured. And let's be real. The road of recovery isn't just physical. It's emotional, it's spiritual, and it's ongoing. Now, here's the part that shouldn't even have to be said, but sadly it does. Even with the death, even with the cure and the whatever, right? People are wishing death upon Coach Prime. Enough with the death wishes, guys. Enough with them. Whether you agree with his coaching style, his swagger, his recruiting tactics, or the way he leads young men, it does not give you the right to dehumanize them. To wish death on someone just because you don't like their play calling or their personality is just cruel. It's disgusting. It says more about you than it will ever about Coach Prime. This man has given everything to this game, and to young men he mentors, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a father, he's a husband, and he is a survivor. And through it all, toe amputations, blood clots, now cancer, he keeps showing up. Not just a coach, but to lead. So from all of us, from here at the Man Hour community, from football fans with a heart, and from anyone who's had to face real pain and still pushes through, Coach Prime, we say here first. Get well soon. We are glad you are still here, and we can't wait to see you on the sideline in Boulder, Colorado this fall. You may not be coaching your sons this season, but you're still leading someone's sons, and we see you. So to the trolls, do better. This man just beat cancer. Show some decency. Sports are competitive, but life is precious. Now let's move on with respect, compassion, and yes, a whole lot of football talk. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? And welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, guys, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. And I'm so glad you're with us here today. Before we dive into today's action, guys, let me tell you a little bit about manhourradio.com. That is where you can grab all your exclusive merchandise, check out our latest blog, and stay up to date everything that we are doing. If you are repping the Man Hour, that is the place to do it. Also, guys, we are streaming 24/7, 365 days a year right here at youtube.com/manhour with 24/7 news. As news comes in, my API pushing it out to the stream. Bada bing, bada boom. A graphic is made. The ticker is up updated, and all the updated news, guys, is there as it comes through. So if you guys want some background music, a little bit of background noise, head over to youtube.com/Banner, guys, and play that 24-hour stream 7 days a week. It helps the channel more than you will ever know. But guys, hit the like button, hit the share button, and be sure to subscribe to the channel as well, as that is the best way to stay connected with us to make sure you never miss a live show. As we are live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time, right here at Facebook.com and, of course, YouTube time. But, of course, there's always more. There's more. You can become a Pigskin Pundit, guys. That's our members-only community where you get all entries into NFL pick'ems, giveaways, exclusive merch, and you get all access to the extra streams as well that only our Pigskin Pundits get. So if you want the full man-hour experience, guys, sign up and join the squad today. Now, remember, this is live and after show, so I want to make sure you get your comments down below. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions and your hottest of the hottest takes, because we're all about the conversation. Before we get too carried away, we got to welcome the people in the chat. We got to welcome the people in the chat. We got to welcome Mrs. Pigskin Pundit herself.
Skin pun, get you some.
Mrs. Laura Johnson Hendricks in the chat. She says, prayers for Coach Prime. Yes, prayers up. We got Old Man River. Yes, Fat Fingers here as well. Old Man River's like to type you on the fat fingers. He said, I had the bladder cancer, nothing to joke about. And that is tough. And I will never be one to joke about any types of cancer whatsoever. So if you have cancer or had cancer, you are definitely in my thoughts and you are in my prayers all the time. So let's just be flat out honest about that. Let's get this chat open so I can scroll back up, because apparently on this I cannot scroll up. And Laura says, say it louder for the ones in the back who didn't get the memo. Yeah, guys, stop wishing death on people. It is absolutely stupid. It is asinine. It's asatan, right? It's asatan. Who else we got here? We got Old Man. This world is twisted. Facts.
Pigskin pun, get you some.
Yeah, guys. So be like Old Man River and be like Johnson and Laura Johnson Hedrick, guys, and hit that subscribe button down below. Become a Pigskin Pundit. $4.99 a month. You guys get free merchandise and all the extra good stuff. We got my man Derek in that chat as well. He says, "What's up, man? Awa." What's up, Derek? What's up? Hope you're having a good day, brother. Hope you're having a good day, good brother. But guys, it is time to finally put some numbers to our preseason predictions. So if you guys remember, about two months ago, back in May, going into June, we had the way too early NFL win-loss predictions, right? It was way too early, right? The draft just happened, the schedule just come out, and we had to put some numbers to names. But guess what, guys? OTAs have happened, and mini camps have happened, and now training camp has happened as well. And it is finally time to put some numbers to names. It is finally time to lock in my picks. It is finally time to say, you know what? This team is going to do X, Y, Z. And we're going to start off with the NFC North, guys. I am so clogged up today, but not the NFC North. We're going to start with the AFC East. That is the Buffalo Bills, the New York Football Jets, New England Patriots, of course, the Miami Dolphins. And we are going to start off on the top, and we are going to talk about the Buffalo Bills. So, guys, let's talk about the team that's been knocking out the Super Bowl door for 5 straight seasons, but has yet to kick it in. No one has even answered it, and that is the one and only the Buffalo Bills. Guys, let's just be flat out honest. The Buffalo Bills are running out of excuses at this point. They got an MVP quarterback. They've got the continuity, and they got the most dominant streak in the AFC East with 5 straight divisional titles. But now the standard has changed. A divisional crown isn't good enough in Buffalo. It's championship or bust for the squad. Let's just be flat out honest, guys. But let's preview the 2025 Buffalo Bills week by week, and I'll tell you why I've cooled on them just a little bit as we go forward through the season. So if you guys flash back about 2 months ago, I had them as a potentially a 14-15, if not a 16-win team. They have an easy schedule, and I thought that they were going to run through the things. But you know what? The temperature has changed. Things have cooled down a little bit, and you know what? I am backing off the Buffalo Bills just a little bit. But just to refresh you guys, I got my new updated picks, and we're going to start week 1 versus the Baltimore Ravens. They're at home, take on the Baltimore Ravens. This game is a tone setter. The Buffalo Bills get a chance to punch a contender in the mouth early, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. I think they just do it at home behind a fired-up MVP Josh Allen, and this game is not even fun to watch. Let's just be flat and honest. The Buffalo Bills come out week 1 and make the Baltimore Ravens their baby back bitches going into week 2. Now, week two is where I changed a lot of my tone. This is a trap game. They are at MetLife Stadium taking on the New York Football Jets. I have changed my tone on the Jets a lot since we last spoke on them a couple months ago. Guys, but week 2 is a trap game. Now, I do not trust the Jets in the long term, but they always get up for this rivalry, and Allen tends to struggle against them once a year. And this is it. I think Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills struggle week 2 after a dominating win week 1 versus the Baltimore Ravens. They lose to the New York Jets come week 2. People are starting to like, whoa, what is going on? Are the Jets for real? Are the Buffalo Bills frauds? Like, what is going on? Like, that's what it comes down to. But then comes back week 3 when they play back at home, taking on the Miami Dolphins. They bounce back at home. This is a matchup that always feels like a shootout, but the Buffalo Bills is just better coached team when it matters. AKA the Miami Dolphins and Mike McDaniels just plain out suck. That's what it comes down to. And then week number 4, this is where things start to trend up. They play the Saints at home, and the New Orleans Saints just are not on the Buffalo Bills level. This one shouldn't be close, guys. The Saints are not very good. Week number 5, back at home, take on the New England Patriots, another divisional rival, right? Mike Vrabel will have the Patriots. This team will be scrappy, and Mike Vrabel will be the reason why. But the Buffalo Bills handle business in Orchard Park, giving them yet another win. What's up, John? I see you, big man. And then week number 6, they travel down to the ATL to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Guys, the Atlanta Falcons are a true wild card this season. I don't know what to expect out of the Atlanta Falcons, but the Falcons will be tough in Atlanta. They always are. But the Buffalo Bills defense wins this game late. Joey Bosa's signing is going to be the reason why they win this week 6 game versus the Atlanta Falcons. And this is the start of the big run. Guys, they have already won 4 games in a row heading into the bye week in week number 7. Perfectly timing bye week because right now they're 5-1 heading into the second half of the season. Now, week number 8, they do travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers. But guess what? Too much offense, too much speed, and Carolina is still, quote, rebuilding and won't be able to match up with the Buffalo Bills. This one's a shootout. The Bills win all day long. And then week number 9, the game that everybody has circled on their roster. The Kansas City Chiefs come into Orchard Park and the Buffalo Bills get another win. Yeah, I said it. This is the year the Buffalo Bills beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season yet again. McDermott dials up a defensive plan and Allen plays at the MVP level that he can, and the Buffalo Bills dominate the Kansas City Chiefs week 9. Let me say that again. The Buffalo Bills dominate the Kansas City Chiefs come week 9. Make sure you guys hear that because week 10, when they travel to Miami, they will split the series. They will split the series as always, and Miami offense gets loose and in the home heat, and the Buffalo Bills get humbled after a dominating win versus the Kansas City Chiefs. So week 10, they do lose to the Miami Dolphins. And then week number 11, it's yet another letdown game. They take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. They just came off the loss in Miami, and this is the classic case of overlooking opponent. The Bucs sneak one out. I don't understand why they're overlooking the Buccaneers, but they will definitely be overlooking the Buccaneers come week 11 because they're focused about week 12 traveling to Houston to play the Texans on Thursday Night Football. And guess what, guys? This is 3 straight losses for the Buffalo Bills after dominating the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is the one that makes people start to panic just a little bit. CJ Stroud is surgical at home, and the Texans make a statement. But people start to panic all for the wrong reasons because week 13, when they travel to Pittsburgh, this is where the Bills bounce back. It is a physical game, and the Buffalo Bills offense finds its rhythm again, carrying into week number 14, where they're back at home when they take on the Cincinnati Bengals, and a huge win down the stretch. Josh Allen outduels Joe Burrow, and the defense shows up big in the red zone, keeping the Bengals out of the end zone, shutting them out. I'm looking at a 35-0 score. The Buffalo Bills are dominant as of right now, but then heading into week 15, after yet another dominating win over a potential playoff team, they shit the bed yet again. The New England Patriots get the revenge in Week 15. Mike Vrabel has something dialed up, and late season cold weather slows the Buffalo Bills' pace just a little bit. But then week number 16, they travel to Cleveland, and they don't let this one slip away. Allen dominates the second half, and the Buffalo Bills pull away late, giving them momentum into week 17 as they play the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, this could be the Super Bowl preview. Buffalo Bills take on the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think the Buffalo Bills defense makes just enough stops to get it done at home, carrying the momentum into Week 18 when they play the New York Football Jets, and the Buffalo Bills in the regular season on a high note with a dominant divisional win heading into the playoffs. So my final predictions for the Buffalo Bills. Let's flash back to 2 months ago, guys. I had them pegged for a 14-win team. I have walked this back just a little bit, making them 12-5 on the season. Not because I do not believe in their talent, but because their schedule has more landmines than people realize, aka the Jets and the Patriots. Guys, I think the floor, the worst that they can do in 2025 is 11 wins. If they stay healthy and avoid a late season burnout, the ceiling is definitely 15 wins. But at the end of the day, I got them finishing at 12-5, winning 6 straight AFC East titles and making one final push toward the Super Bowl. So, guys, let me ask you this question in the comments below. Is this the year Josh Allen finally breaks through the playoffs, or are we watching just another regular season warrior flying out in January? So, guys, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manart. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below. What is your final record prediction for the 2025 Buffalo Bills? Let's get into your comments. Old Man River says 12-5. I feel like Old Man River read my notes before the show started because that's exactly where I have them. I have them at 12-5. Now, as I do think the Buffalo Bills have the potential to be a great team. The Buffalo Bills have the potential to be a dominant team. 15, 16 wins. That is their absolute ceiling. They are going to drop 1 or 2 games. It is what it is. But I think 12 wins is right where they're at. What's up, John? John's a pigskin punny, guys, as well.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Says, what's good, all? What's good? You know, man, just living this dream. Derek says the last game with Pitt, Mike Tomlin going to be fighting for his job. Ooh, slow it down, baby. Derek, my man, we are covering the AFC North tomorrow. All right? Tune in tomorrow as we talk about the AFC North. And I guarantee you there's going to be some Mike Tomlin hot seat talk. I guarantee you there's going to be some Aaron Rodgers should have retired 3 years ago talk. I guarantee you the Pittsburgh Steelers are still going to make the playoffs, though. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. John says the Buffalo Bills are sitting at 12-5 as well. I don't know what the LOL means. He says LOL, Buffalo Bills 12-5. Ooh. So that's 3 now, 12-5s. And guys, for your Buffalo Bill fans out there, do not get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. I think the Buffalo Bills are arguably one of the best teams in the AFC. I think arguably they should be in the Super Bowl. Arguably, they do have a ceiling of 15 wins. That could definitely happen. But I think the Patriots and Jets have closed the gap just a little bit, and they're going to sneak out a couple wins this season, dropping them from the 14 wins down to 12. Derek's sitting there with 10-7. Derek says, hold my beer. Let me get the chat route up, because 10-7 is happening in Buffalo, baby. So, Derek, as I like your enthusiasm, I like how you think the Buffalo Bills are going to drop from a 14-win team down to a 10-win team. Does that still make them the AFC East champions, though? Because it doesn't matter if you get 10 wins or 15 wins. As long as you win the AFC East and you host a first-round game, I think people are satisfied in Buffalo. As long as you can, make it past the first round, that's a winning season. And like in the Buffalo Bills' eyes, right? Speaking of Buffalo Bills fan, my man Alpha Rob says 14-3, baby. That's where I originally had them, Alpha Rob. If you flash back to May and June, That is where I originally had them, at 14 wins. I did cut it back a couple wins. I think I snuck in a Jets win and a Patriots win. And that was simply because I like what the Jets and Patriots are doing. And I think the Buffalo Bills might overlook them early in the season. Derek says, does Allen bring back pushing it, starting throwing NITs? So basically, Derek is asking, gunslinger Josh Allen from a couple years ago, is he going to make an appearance? Because last year, Josh Allen, he only threw like 3 or 4 interceptions, something crazy, something way he has never done ever before. Ooh, guys, it is storming bad outside right now out here in Indiana. But no. I think Josh Allen has learned to control that gunslinger mentality. I don't think Josh Allen is going to have another 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 interception seasons. It is going to start to be the norm for Josh Allen to see 4 to 7 interceptions a season. That's about it. Now, postseason might be a different thing. Postseason might be totally different. But we'll see. Old Man River says Steelers is 11-6. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. Alpha Rob says there's no way. He says, let me clear my throat. There's no way the Buffalo Bills are going 10-7. There's absolutely no way. Alpha Rob, you are 100% correct. Because if I look back at my back to my floor for the Buffalo Bills, it's 11 wins. Ceiling is 15, floor is 11. Anywhere between 11 and 15 wins, I'm not going to be like, right? That's where I think they're at. 11. 10 is low, baby. 10 is low. Alfred says, why people still talking about interceptions? Allen doesn't throw no more interceptions than any other quarterback. Great question. Derek, why did you bring up interceptions? It is what it is. But guys, I do have the Buffalo Bills sitting at 12-5. That is my final number for the Buffalo Bills going into the 2025 NFL season. Guys, let me know if I'm too high, too low, or just right. Now, let's move on. The dynasty days, guys, are long over in Foxborough. But something is building yet again. And it's not flashy. It's not headline grabbing, but it's real. Guys, Mike Vrabel is back in town. Drake Maye looks better than anyone has expected at this point, and the Patriots suddenly feel competitive yet again. So guys, let's walk through the 2025 New England Patriots schedule week by week, and I'll tell you where I think this team is heading under Mike Vrabel in year 1. So guys, if you flash back to a couple months ago, I had them as a below 500 team. I had them as a team battling for 3rd and 4th place in the AFC East. I had them as a team that was there, but wasn't quite there yet, right? But things have changed. I have been very much impressed about what Mike Vrabel has been doing in Foxborough. I've been very much impressed about what Drake Maye has been doing. So let's break it down. Week number 1, they do play the Las Vegas Raiders at home. Week number 1. Guys, Mike Vrabel starts the year off with the win. This defense set the tones, and Drake Maye manages the game well. It's not pretty, but it is a win. And understand this is going to be a theme throughout the New England Patriots season. Good defense, game managing by Drake Maye. That's all he needs to do. But week 2, they do travel to Miami. This is a tough trip to Miami early. The heat, the speed, and the environment overwhelm the Patriots. Drake Maye takes his first real second lump of the season with the loss to the Miami Dolphins. Now, week number 3, they're back at home, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they get back on track. This is a classic Patriots-style win. Gritty defense, clock control, and Drake Maye outplays a shaky Pittsburgh offense. Aaron Rodgers or not is still going to be shaky offense. The New England Patriots get the win. Now, week number 4, they're back at home yet again, taking on the Carolina Panthers. This one is about taking care of business. Drake Maye looks more comfortable by the week, and the Panthers don't have any weapons to keep up. Adam Thielen can look like primetime Adam Thielen, and Hunter Renfrow can look like primetime Hunter Renfrow. It doesn't matter. The Panthers are not going to be very good this season, guys. Let's break it down. Then week number 5, they do travel to Buffalo. They are not quite ready to knock off the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, but the Bills remain the Patriots that their top-tier AFC football looks like. They get their second loss of the season, the Buffalo Bills. Then week number 6, they're back on the road, heading down to the Big Easy, heading down to New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints. Mike Vrabel's coach teams travel well, and this is a prime example. The defense confuses the New Orleans Saints, and the Patriots come out with a strong road win. Also, the Saints are not very good. But then week number 7, a third straight road game. This is a revenge game for Tennessee. Mike Vrabel, old team, comes out fiery and hands New England a tough loss. It's an ugly game all around, but Cam Ward gets better of the Titans' old head coach and Drake Maye, giving them yet another loss on the season. And then week number 8, they're finally back at home, back to balance, and the offense finds its rhythm and the defense capitalized on Cleveland Browns' mistakes. Cleveland Browns don't know who their quarterback is. They don't know who their running back is. The only thing they do know is that old Myles Garrett's getting paid a lot of money, and they lose this game. And then week number 9, they're back at home, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The offense clicks here. Drake Maye looks sharp. The running game is dominant, and the Patriots hit their mid-season stride. However, a hiccup does come in week 10. This is called the trap game when they travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Guys, the Bucs are better than expected and catch the Patriots off guard. This one slips away late, giving the Bucs to win. And then week number 11, they're back at home as the Jets come into town and they leave disappointed yet again. The Patriots dominate in the trenches and they control the game wire to wire. Then week number 12, they travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, a rematch from week 1 when the Patriots did upset the Bengals. This one gets out of hand early, and the Cincinnati Bengals are just more explosive. They're more experienced, and Drake Maye takes a step back in a high-pressure road games, giving the Patriots yet another loss. And then week number 13, they're back at home, taking on the New York Football Giants. This is a huge letdown at home. The Giants are a scrappy, good team, and this game that slips away late because of the mistakes. Young mistakes by Drake Maye and young mistakes by Mike Vrabel let the Patriots get beat by the New York Football Giants. And then week 14, they have a much-needed bye week, resting and heading into a very, very tough final stretch. And off the bye week, they play the Buffalo Bills at home. And here's a signature win of the year. They split the season series, and Mike Vrabel's defense confuses Josh Allen just enough to steal this one late. Give the Patriots a huge win in week 15 over the Buffalo Bills. But then week 16, that momentum cannot carry them on the road as they lose to the Baltimore Ravens. Guys, the Baltimore's too much, too physical, too fast, too deep. New England gets outclassed in this one. And then week 17, they're back on the road, take on the New York Football Jets, and they lose this one. This time, the Jets get them back. It's a sloppy, cold-weather brawl, and just doesn't go the Patriots' way, unfortunately. And then week number 18, the Miami Dolphins get frozen in New England, and the Patriots win over Miami. They close out the season strong, home crowd divisional game, and a full season full of Drake Maye shows here. So, guys, my final prediction for the New England Patriots. 2 months ago, guys, I had them penciled in as the 8th-win team. But after seeing the project of Drake Maye in training camp, the leadership of Mike Vrabel's already establishment, and their physical identity team in the building, I have bumped them up to 9-8. This is a second-place team, guys, in the AFC East. And for a team in the middle of a rebuild, that's a huge step in the right direction. So when we look at floor and ceiling for the New England Patriots, I had them at 6 wins as the floor, and the ceiling, if everything breaks their way, they are a 12-win team. So, guys, let me ask you in the comments below. Is 8-9 and second place in AFC East a sign that the Patriots are back on track, or is this still just a bridge year for Drake Maye and Mike Vrabel? Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here, youtube.com/manhour. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below. What are your final record predictions for the New England Patriots? Let's get into the comments down below. Old Man River says Patriots are 7-9. Oof, bro, that's tough. That is tough. Are they 7-9 because the Buffalo Bills are so good? Or are they 7-9 because they actually got a tough schedule? That's the question. John says the Patriots will be 8-9. Ugh. That is where I originally had them. but I bumped them up one game. 7-10 by Old Man River, 7-10 by Derek. And Old Man River says, did you put some ice on the bottom of your head? They don't Buffalo. Did you put some ice on the bump on your head because they don't Buffalo? They're beating Buffalo. They are beating Buffalo at home. And Alpha Rob says 98 because the Fins and Jets are just bad. Now, yes, the Jets are improved, right? The Jets are a little bit improved, but Miami is that bad. So I think we're all kind of in the same boat here, but just between 7 and 9 wins. That's exactly where I have them, as at 9 and 8. The ceiling for them is 12 wins, though. I think if everything clicks right and they can sweep the Jets and they can sweep the Dolphins, that is definitely a 12-win season, because when you sweep those two division rivals, they're going to sneak up on somebody. They are going to beat a team like the let's say the Giants. They're going to sneak up on a team like the Bengals. They're going to sneak up on a team like the Titans, right? There are going to be some wins that go their way if everything is playing in the right momentum. So I think the 12 wins is definitely not out of reach. They got an easier schedule this season. Old Man River says they get lucky, going to be really a 5-win team. And you know, Old Man River, I don't disagree. I do not disagree with you, because if things do not go their way, I have them as a 6-win team. Yes. They are a bad team if they don't get some of those divisional wins and get the momentum going, right? It's all about the big MO at the end of the day. So, what do you guys think? How will the Patriots do in 2025? Now, let's move on to the New York Football Jets. Guys, the Jets may not be a Super Bowl contender, but they are finally starting to look like an actual football team again. And believe it or not, guys, it's not because of Aaron Glenn. It's not because of Garrett Wilson. It's not because of Sauce Gardner. It's because Justin freaking Fields. Guys, Justin Fields is the big reason why they're starting to look like a great football team yet again. No, he's not a saving the franchise over the night type of guy. But what he's doing is bringing swagger, leadership, and hope back to a fan base that has been begging for a reason to care for many, many years. Guys, this Jets team will not win the division. Do not get it twisted. But they will make some noise. They will win a few games that they shouldn't, and they finally have an identity under new head coach Aaron Glenn. But let's break it down in 2025, Jets week by week, and I'll tell you where I've had them landed on their final record after camp and early preseason action. So, guys, week number 1, they do open up against the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Justin Fields, former team. Aaron Rodgers is former team. Guys, this is a tone setter, and the defense dominates early. Justin Fields makes big plays with his legs, and the Jets start the season off with energy and confidence, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then week number 2, at home, taking on the Buffalo Bills. Guys, this is a statement game. This is a divisional rival. MVP quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. It doesn't matter. The Jets pull off the upset at home, moving to 2-0 on the season. But then week number 3, it is a reality check. They travel down to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay's physical defense flusters Justin Fields, and the Jets come back down to earth, giving them yet a loss. And the losses start to pile up quickly, because week number 4, they're on the road taking on the Miami Dolphins. A very, very tough place to play, especially in August, September, and October. Too much speed on offense. The Jets can't keep up in the second half. They lose to the Miami Dolphins. Now, week number 5, they're back at home, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are bringing the heat. Micah Parsons disrupts everything, and Justin Fields spends a whole time running for his life as they lose yet their 3rd straight game of the season. And then week number 6, they travel across the pond to take on the Denver Broncos in London. The travel, the time zone shift, a sneaky good Broncos defense led by another frustrating L, giving them 4 straight losses. And now the schedule makers do not give them any favors, because usually after you play an overseas game, you get a bye week. But no, not in New York. They back at home taking on the Carolina Panthers, but they finally bounce back at home. The defense forces a couple turnovers, and Fields gets back on track with a clean, effective game, finally breaking that 4-game losing streak, but it does not last long. Because week number 8, they travel to Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense are just too much. Fields has flashes, but it's not enough to keep up, giving them yet another loss on the season. Now, week number 9, they finally get the much-needed bye week. Well past the halfway point at this time, they are treading water, but things start to look up. Things start to click for the New York Football Jets because week 10, they're back at home taking on the Cleveland Browns. This is a solid win. The defense dominates the line of scrimmage, and the Justin Fields delivers in the red zone. This one feels like a confidence builder, but the confidence doesn't last very long because when you travel to New England, and they have never won in Foxborough during the post-Brady era, and that continues here. Vrabel has their number, giving the Jets yet another loss on the season. And then week number 12, a Baltimore Ravens team at Baltimore, too fast, too physical. The Baltimore Ravens overwhelm the Jets, and the offense struggles mightily. But things start to turn around. Things start to turn around in lucky week number 18 as they welcome the Atlanta Falcons back at home and they get back in rhythm. The Jets win a low-scoring grinder behind their defense. Grinder, pun intended there. Week 14, back at home again, playing the Miami Dolphins. This is a revenge game. That defense clamps down on Tua, and Fields plays with a purpose in this one of the best games of the season, giving them a dominating win over the Miami Dolphins. But then week 15, they cannot continue that momentum as they travel down to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. It's a trap game. Jacksonville is inconsistent, but they're dangerous, and they catch fire, and the Jets slipping on the road, giving them yet another loss on the season. Week 16, they do travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. This is a win. This is an ugly game, but the Jets find a way. Fields and Breece Hall control the pace, and they win the field possession battle. A 9-6 type of score is not out of reach here. Then week 17, they're back at home taking on the Patriots, and they split the series. Fields makes a play late, and the Jets get a big division win to close out their home schedule. Traveling to week 18 to Orchard Park, the final regular season for the Buffalo Bills, Orchard Park Stadium, and the Buffalo Bills is still Buffalo, and they don't take their foot off the gas in the season finale, blowing out the Jets. So, guys, my final prediction for the New York Football Jets. 2 months ago, I had the Jets team finishing as a 6-win team. But Justin Fields has changed the energy in that building. And even though he's not perfect, he's making the Jets fun again. After seeing how the schedule plays out with the coaching staff is in the building, I bumped them up to 8-9. Now, the floor is still very, very low for the Jets. This is potentially a 5-win team. If Fields gets hurt or the defense regresses, things could unravel quickly. A ceiling, however, if they catch fire and take the next steps, this is easily a 10-win team. This is easily a 10-win team in the New York New York Football Jets. But right now, I got them as just outside the playoff picture, sitting at an 8-9 record. So, guys, is Justin Fields the long-term answer in New York, or is he just another chapter in the same old New York Jets story? That's the question for you guys down below. Subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, guys, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com. Now, this is a live interactive show. So, guys, what is your final record prediction for the Jets NFL season? Let's jump into the comments. My man, John, says 7-10. 7-10 for the New York Football Jets. I think I've said Giants many, many times, but it is the Jets. It is a Jets, Jets. Old Man Rivers says 6-11. No love for Justin Fields. No love for Sauce Gardner. No love for Aaron Glenn. That's tough, baby. That is tough. Old Man Rivers still saying Steelers 11-6. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. Now for Rob says 7-10 for the New York Football Jets. Yeah. Am I being optimistic about the Jets? Am I being too optimistic about Justin Fields? Am I being too optimistic about just Aaron Glenn's what's the word I'm looking for? Presence in there, like his presence, like his overall whatever. Am I being too optimistic? I don't know. But I think they could potentially be an 8-win team. Ceiling of 10, a floor of 5, right? A floor of 5. Old Man River says his time will be determined by how well his O-line protects him. Not wrong. Not wrong. The The old line has not been good the last couple seasons. Let's just be flat honest about it. Also, they did have Aaron Rodgers. So take that with a grain of salt. But let's move on to the Miami Dolphins. All right, guys. So with the Miami Dolphins, guys, let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not be optimistic. Let's not be overjealous. Let's not be too hard on it, but we're not going to sugarcoat it. Things are messy in Miami. Tyreek Hill has been throwing jabs. Tua's trying to play damage control, and the defense is already banged up, and it's not even preseason week 1. Not exactly what you want to hear if you're a Miami Dolphins fan heading into a make or break year. Let's just be flat out honest. This is a make or break year. This was supposed to be the season Miami finally break through. Instead, it's looking like survival mode. Guys, the Dolphins still have speed. They still have stars, but the chemistry is cracking, and Mike McDaniels is officially on the hot seat. If he's not, something is wrong in Miami. But guys, let's go by week and lay it all down, because when you look at the schedule, things could get ugly, real ugly, and even by December. And they start ugly week number 1 when they travel to Indianapolis to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Guys, the Colts have everything happening in their favor. New ownership, potentially a new general manager by the end of the season. There's a lot of on the line for the Indianapolis Colts in 2025. But the Miami Dolphins season starts off with the Doug. The Colts punch Miami in the mouth early. Tua struggles with the pressure. Not a great tone setter. This is ugly and ugly quick. The Colts get a huge win. Week number 2, the Miami Dolphins are back at home, take on the New England Patriots, and this is a win. Back to home, back to basic. Tyreek Hill breaks loose, and the Dolphins get their own division win in the first month over the New England Patriots. Because week number 3, they travel to Buffalo Bills, and they lose. No surprise here, guys. The Buffalo Bills are too deep, too tough, and too focused. Tua can't match Allen in this one. Buffalo Bills dominate. And then week number 4, they're back at home, taking on the New York Football Jets. The defense finally shows up. Fields makes some mistakes, and the Dolphins sneak out a low-scoring win, probably 12-9 type of score. Week number 5, they travel to Carolina. This is a loss, and this one stings. Guys, the Panthers are not very good, but the Dolphins are worse on the road, and in the inner fighting is starting to boil over. We're seeing Tua and Hill go head-to-head. But then week number 6, differences get crushed and put aside as the LA Chargers come into town and they get the win. Finally, a feel-good game in Miami. Tua plays clean, Waddle has a day, and the Dolphins remind us that they still have the juice, at least when they're at home. Because when they're on the road, they're not very good, and that's exactly what they go in week number 7 when they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos and they get their asses whooped. Another brutal road trip. The Browns defense locks down the passing game, and the injuries of Miami Dolphins are on full display because the defense is not very good. And oh, by the way, week number 8, they're back on the road to take on the Atlanta Falcons, and they lose yet again. And that's back-to-back road losses against middle-tier and the middle teams in the NFL. Hill and Tua are clearly not on the same page, and the frustration is going. Week number 9, back at home, take on the Baltimore Ravens, and guess what? Yet another loss. The third straight loss, and Lamar Jackson puts on a show. The Ravens expose Miami Dolphins' soft spots and cruise into a convincing win. This is over at halftime. But then week number 10. Something happens. I don't know what happens, but something happens. There's a shock here. And the Buffalo Bills come into town, and the Dolphins catch the Buffalo Bills sleeping, and Tua finally clicks with Hill again for 1 week to get the win. But then, week 11, they travel across the pond to Spain to take on the Washington Commanders. Travel fatigue, locker room tension, and a rising Commanders teams all collide. Ugly, mistake-filled performance in Spain. Week 12, much needed bye week. Probably too late to fix anything, but hey, they get a week off after going over to Spain. Week 13, they are back at home, taking on the Saints, so this is a win. Short-lived bounce back. McDaniels coaches for his job, and the Dolphins beat a flawed Saints team at home, but it doesn't get much easier. Because week 14, they travel to New York to take on the Jets. That is a loss. That's week 4 win over the Jets. Do not expect a repeat. Justin Fields gets revenge in this one, and the Dolphins spiral yet again. Because week 15, they travel to Pittsburgh yet again. That is another loss. The Steelers defense has a field day, and the Dolphins offense stalls out. Another tough December road trip. And oh, by the way, they do not win for the rest of the season. Because week 16, they're at home, taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is a loss. Chase, Burrow, Higgins, too much firepower. The secondary just can't hang. Week 17, they're at home to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yet another loss. You expect them to win this one at home, but the morale is shot in Miami. Mike McDaniels may not be coaching will be coaching his last game at this point, and he should be fired by after week 18 because they will lose to week 18 at New England and Foxborough in January. Let's just be honest. There's no shot. The season ends with another divisional defeat. Now, if you flash back to 2 months ago, guys, I had the Miami Dolphins finishing at 5 wins. And after watching the locker room tension with health issues piling up on defense and no real sign of stability for Tua or McDaniels, I'm still locked in at 5-12. The floor for this team is 4 wins, and the ceiling, if Tua and Hill can figure things out and the defense miraculously stays healthy, 8 wins max. Guys, let's be real. This feels like a reset year. Whether it's a new quarterback, a new head coach, or both, change is coming in Miami. So, guys, in the comments down below, is this the end of Mike McDaniel era in Miami, and has Tua played his final season as a Miami Dolphins starter? That's the question I want you guys to answer. But what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? Old Man River. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Old Man River says buying into the hype, not the Jets. Old Man River says Dolphins will finish 7-10. That's generous. Very, very generous, Old Man River. And John says 6-11. Because but between their schedule, between Tua not staying healthy, between Tyreek Hill having diva issues or whatever you want to call it, like it's just I just don't see a lot of good things happening in Miami. I think they're a bad team. I think they eventually blow things up. So, guys, let's go ahead and recap our total AFC East. Guys, let's wrap up the AFC East and one of the most chaotic and unpredictable divisions in football. Guys, I think the Buffalo Bills stay on top, but they're even starting to show a little bit of cracks. The Patriots are rebuilding, but they're not backing down. The Jets, the swagging back, but the wins not quite there yet. And the Dolphins, this just might be the end of the era in Miami. So let's run it back one last time with each team story and where I've got them finishing. So the Buffalo Bills, guys, the window is still open. To win the Super Bowl, the window is still open, but just barely. Josh Allen is coming off an MVP season, and the Bills are still loaded enough to compete with anyone, but losing 3 straight midseason games to the Dolphins, Bucks, and Texans, this is enough for me to lower their ceiling just a little bit. Still, the Buffalo Bills are the class of the division and still have them finishing at 12-5. That's good enough for a 6th straight AFC East title. So the floor, I had them at 11 wins, and the ceiling for the Buffalo Bills is at 15 wins. Now, the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel is in. Josh McDaniels is back, and Drake Maye has never looked better in each week of camp. There's the new energy in Foxborough, and it feels like a real foundation is being built in New England. Now, I got them at 9-8, good enough for second place in the division. This isn't a playoff team just yet, but it's a year ahead of schedule in the rebuild. So the floor for the Patriots is 6 wins, but the ceiling is 12 wins. If everything clicks, they could be a 12-win team. Now in New York, for the New York Football Jets, Justin Fields has brought swagger and playmaking ability to the team that desperately needed both. It won't always be clean, but it will be exciting. The Jets will be competitive, especially early, but they're still a few pieces away from being a real postseason competition. They finished 8-9 just behind the Patriots, but clearly heading in the right direction with Fields and Aaron Glenn as they continue to develop. So the floor for the Jets, I had them at 5 wins, and the ceiling is 10. Now for the Miami Dolphins, this is where things fall apart. The Tyreek Hill and Tua drama is real. Injuries on the defensive side have already been a problem, and Mike McDaniels will not survive this season. I had them 5 wins back in the summer, and nothing has changed. I'm sticking with 5-12. It's going to be a long year in South Beach. But the floor is 4 wins and the ceiling is 8. So my final AFC East standings and predictions, the Buffalo Bills will finish in first place at 12-5. The Patriots will finish at 8-9 in second place. The third place will be the New York Football Jets at 8-9, and the Miami Dolphins will finish at 5-12. Buffalo stays in control. New England starts to build something. The Jets flirt with 500, and the Dolphins, it just might be time to hit the reset button. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Let's talk about it. John says, let me be clear. The Buffalo Bills will be 12-5. The Buffalo Bills will be 12-5, said John, and playing his Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl. Alpha Rob says 8-9. Defense is bad. Tua can't win key games, and Hill already set the tone for a trade in October, especially if they start slow. Listen, Alpha Rob. If the Miami Dolphins start 0-3, 0-4, 1-5, 2-6, or whatever, I can highly anticipate a trade of Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill will find a new home if the Miami Dolphins start slow. However, we saw them start slow last season. And somehow, some way, they're still in the playoff hunt until week 17. Yes, the AFC 7th spot was weak, right? You had the Chargers, you had the Dolphins, you had the Bengals, you had the Broncos, all battling for that 6th and 7th seed, which is absolutely ridiculous. None of them should have even been in the playoffs, even thought about being in the playoffs. So, if they start 2-6, 1-5, if they have 3 wins if they only have 3 wins and under by week 8, which is a Halloween trade deadline, I think he will be gone. I think he will be gone to a team like the Chargers. I think he'll be gone to a team potentially like the New England Patriots. I don't know. I'm just throwing names out there that need wide receiver help. Or even the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think he goes to Pittsburgh, but there's a team that needs receivers, right? John says the Jets and Pats may switch spots. Could. It is going to come down to head-to-head competition, right? It is going to come down to head-to-head games. If the Jets beat the Patriots later in the season, I think the Jets get second place. If the Patriots beat the Jets later in the season, then I think the Patriots will obviously get the thing, right? Metcalf and Hill would be deadly. It would be deadly for the Pittsburgh Steelers, yes. It would be a death wish for the Pittsburgh Steelers, yes. The reason that I say it would be a death wish for the Pittsburgh Steelers if Tyreek Hill goes to Pittsburgh is because Tyreek Hill still thinks he is the best receiver in the NFL, or at least the top 5 receiver in the NFL. Let's just be honest. He thinks he's a top receiver in the NFL. With that being said, we saw what DK Metcalf just got paid. DK Metcalf is a very well-paid man. Tyreek Hill would like to be a very well-paid man if he goes to Pittsburgh. And it's not going to happen. They would probably just let him walk. Now, does Aaron Rodgers, because obviously Aaron Rodgers runs a show, let's just be honest. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is now running that show. Mike Tomlin, Art Rooney, whatever, can say whatever they want. Aaron Rodgers says yes. Bring him Tyreek Hill. They're going to bring a guy. I just do not see that clashing very, very well, unfortunately. Legends in their own mind. Egos speak. Listen, we spoke on this probably about a year ago. Probably about a year ago, we have spoke on this, right? We said that Tyreek Hill, me personally, I said Tyreek Hill is not a top 5 receiver in the NFL. If you double team him, he does not get open. Granted, most receivers do not get open when you double team them, but the reason that I said that is because Tyreek Hill's, all of his route tree is based off of speed. Speed. Watch his routes. His routes suck. His timing sucks. He's just faster than everybody else. Well, guess what? He's 2, 3, 4, 5 years older since he was the fastest man in the NFL. Father Time is undefeated. you always start to slow down. Jamo and Amara going to cook this year. Enough said. Watch out, league. John, we should be in the NFC North next week. So we're doing AFC all this week, NFC next week. I'm telling you, the Detroit Lions are not as good as you think. I'm telling you that the Detroit Lions are not as good as people think they are. Slow it down, baby. Insert Minnesota Vikings. I'm kidding. All right, guys. So it is time to move on to a little segment we have to call Buy or Sell. Guys, it is time for Buy or Sell, and here's how it works. I'll throw out a bold take or a question, and we decide, are we buying it or are we selling it? When we buy it, it means you're in. You like the idea, you believe it, and it makes sense. Sell it means you're out. You don't like it, you're not convinced, and you're shutting it down. So guys, let's get into it, and let's do a little bit of buy or a little bit of sell. All right, guys, so the first buy or sell of the day. Buy or sell, guys, does the addition of Eli Apple make the 49ers defense dangerous? Like Russell dangerous. All right, guys, so with the buy or sell, you know the drill. I throw out a bold take and we decide whether buying it or selling it. Buying means you're in and selling means you're out. So here we go. So, guys, buy or sell. The addition of Eli Apple, does it make the 49ers a dangerous team? Now, on the surface, it sounds like a sneaky good move, right? Eli Apple, former first-round pick, over 100 career games, 82 starts, and he's seen it all. New York, New Orleans, Cincinnati, Miami, LA. This guy has bounced around. He's got experience in big spots. And let's be honest, the 49ers aren't bringing him in to be a lockdown cornerback one. They already got talent in that secondary. Apple being added to as a veteran depth, as a situational piece, as a plug-and-play guy if injuries hit or they need to shift coverages mid-game. But here's the thing. Guys, Eli Apple necessarily isn't a game changer. He's had moments, sure. 9 pass defenses in 2023 with the Dolphins, but last year with the Chargers, just 4 games and a hamstring injury that shut him down. He hasn't had more than 1 interception since 2021. So does making this move for the 49ers defense on defense make them dangerous? Guys, let's call it what it is. I am 100% selling this. I do not like the addition of Eli Apple. The Niners were already a dangerous defense as is. They got a fierce front seven. They might have the best front seven in all of football. Their secondary is solid. Eli Apple is more insurance than impact. Let's just be honest. Could he contribute? Absolutely. Does he move the needle in a loaded NFC playoff race? Not a chance. So guys, what do you think? Are you buying or are you selling Eli Apple making the Niners defense more dangerous? Guys, subscribe, hit that like button. Remember, this is a live interactive show, and let's get down into your comments down below. And right off the bat, Old Man Rivers saying sell, sell, sell. Eli Apple, your mama did your contracting bidding for you, right? Old Man Rivers says, this is like an elephant, man. I do not forget. Do you guys remember Eli's Apple like rookie year in New York when his mom was like, stop picking on my boy? Old Man Rivers sure didn't forget. I didn't forget. That's why he's selling it. And John's saying sell as well. Eli Apple, who? Is this the same Eli Apple that's been on 6 teams in 3 years? Like, slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. Guys, I am with you. I got to sell this. I don't like it. Matter of fact, I absolutely hate it. I hate it because when you signed Eli Apple, you had to cut a young quarterback to get him in there, right? You had to get a young cornerback to get him in there. So guys, buy or sell. Does Eli Apple make the 49ers defense great, most dangerous? Sell, sell, sell. Now let's move on to the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders, guys. Buy or sell? Are the Raiders better off without Christian Wilkins? Guys, buy or sell? I throw out the take, and we decide whether we're buying it or we're selling it. Buy means you're in. Selling means you're nope, not buying it, not convinced. We're calling it out. Guys, let's break it down. Are the Raiders better off without Christian Wilkins? On the surface, this is a massive move. Wilkins signed a $110 million contract just last offseason, $84.7 million of it guaranteed. One of the top defensive tackles in football, and now he's gone, cut, released, done in Vegas. See you later, alligator, after a while, crocodile. Now, here's where it gets messy. It wasn't about on-field production. Wilkins had 9 sacks in 2023. He was a beast, destructive, physical, and played with attitude back with the Miami Dolphins, right? This guy was a difference maker when he's healthy. But here's the key. When he is healthy. He suffered a Jones fracture last October. Rehab didn't go too well, and the team said he needed another surgery, and Wilkinson said no. Raiders said he wasn't maintaining his physical condition to play. Boom, guarantees violated. Cut with the veteran tag. Grievancy filed by the NFL Players Association. This whole thing is a mess. So the question becomes, is Vegas better off? Guys, and I'm saying buy it. I am saying buying it. We have not seen a full season with Christian Wilkins in Vegas. The man wants to kiss players on the forehead and do whatever he like he does, get him out of town. He's causing a rift in the locker room and pissing off players and ownership. As talented as Wilkins is, you cannot commit to that kind of money to a guy who won't follow your rehab plan and hasn't been on the field. Pete Carroll even said it the best. His return was uncertain. No helmet at OTA, didn't practice, didn't show up for minicamp. You can't lead a locker room from a sideline in street clothes. Be flat out honest. The Raiders made a statement here. No matter how good you are, availability matters. Accountability matters. And if you're not all in, we're moving on without you. Guys, Vegas has young talent up front. Byron Young, Malcolm Cacone, plus Max Crosby is still the engine of the defense. Would Wilkins have helped them? Absolutely. But not if he's not playing. And not if he's causing more off-field questions than on-field answers. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Did the Raiders make the right call? Are they better off without Christian Wilkins? Subscribe, hit that like button, guys. Remember, live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. It's a live interactive show, so let's jump into the comments and see if Raiders are better off without Wilkins or not. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Old Member says a lot of sounds like a head case. Alpha Rob says sell. Get him out of town. We don't need him. We don't want him. We don't love him. Get him out of town. Old Man River saying sell. Guys, Old Man River is a Raiders fan. He loved the signing of Christian Wilkins. He thought Christian Wilkins was going to be the game changer. He thought Christian Wilkins was going to wreck the Kansas City Chiefs and lead them to the AFC East title. And he's saying, get him out of town. That's tough, baby. That's tough. John says, sucks his injury. He's still solid as F, but sell. He will be a Patriot. You know what, John? I'm going to take it one step further. He has guaranteed $84.75 million bills. Yo, he is going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs. And he's going to team up with Chris Jones. Chris Jones and Christian Wilkins in the interior, destroying the Las Vegas Raiders all season long. And he's going to take pennies on the dollar just to be with the Chiefs, just to win a Super Bowl, just to stick it to the Raiders just because. That's what he's going to do. And it's going to be a long, long season for the Raiders. But guys, let's move on. Let's move on. Thing we like to call a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap, guys. As we wind down the show, we're not quite done yet. This is our final segment. Fact or crap. Guys, here's the deal. I'm going to throw out statements, some facts that are floating around the NFL world, and it's up to us to decide if it's solid facts or there's a bunch of crap. We're going to separate the truth from the nonsense, cut through the hype, and see what's really worth believing. If it's legit, we're all about it. If it's pure garbage, we're calling it out. So guys, grab your popcorn because it's about to get real. Is it fact or is it a whole lot of crap? Let's go ahead and find out. Let's find out with Shamir Stewart. Shamir Stewart, guys. This man, the myth, legend himself, finally signed his rookie deal. But guys, I got to ask this question. Fact or crap? Will Stewart be a bust in the NFL? Now, I get it. The headlines haven't been helping his case whatsoever. First round pick, last rookie to be signed, his deal, missed the first 3 practices. Fans are already side-eyeing this kid before he even put on a pads in a real game. But here's what gets missed. This wasn't a holdout of laziness, right? It's all about business at the end of the day. He was not getting the contract that he wanted. The guy trained all summer at Texas A&M. He stayed in shape, stayed sharp, and showed up ready to go. And once the deal was signed, he hit the field immediately. No drama, no lingering tension, no wah. Let's get to work, baby. And let's not act like this guy's talent is in question. We're talking about a 6'4", 270-pound edge rusher with frequency explosive and 65 quarterback pressures over the last 2 seasons in the SEC. The numbers, not gaudy, but the disruption is real. He's raw, sure. He's got to learn how to win consistently at the next level. But calling this guy a bust before he's even lined up in the single snap, guys, this is crap. Stewart has too much upside, too much physical talent, and now finally he's in the right spot to grow. He doesn't need to be a Pro Bowler year 1. He just needs to be active, contribute in the rotation, and start stacking up reps. Bust, not even close, not quite. But guys, factor crap. Will Stewart be a bust? Be a bust. Old Miver says, I've heard some rumors. He says, He says, I heard some rumors that he's gained too much weight. He didn't gain too much weight. I'm confused of what your questioning here is. Are you questioning that he didn't put on some lean muscle? He's still too small? Is that what you're questioning? Guys, when I think of a bust, Stewart has all the intangibles, right? He has all the intangibles to be great. But since he is the first rookie ever to have 4 years fully guaranteed paid before he stepped on the field, this has to put you up with the elite class, with Trey Hendrickson, with Myles Garrett, with Micah Parsons, Joey Bosa, and Nick Bosa, and those guys, right? You have to perform when you have guaranteed money. And I'm not for sure he's ready for it. I just do not think he's ready for it at all. But we'll see. We will see, we'll see. And I want to do a little bit of this, I think. Do a little bit of this. All right, guys, as we start to wrap up the show today, let me take a moment to reflect on everything that we've covered. The AFC East, the Buffalo Bills winning it. Stewart's not going to be a bust. Kenny Wilkins' injury is going to keep him from QB1. Wilkins will be a Kansas City Chiefs. But I want you to leave with my final thoughts for the day. Cordell Patterson. My man, you just got released by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you decided to hit us with the Friday movie reference? How do you get fired on your day off? Look, I get it. It's funny. I liked it. But that line is from Smokey from Iconic 29 years ago. Bro, it's 2025. Half of the people reading that tweet probably thought you were quoting TikTok. The Gen Z crowd just sat there like, what? What's Friday? Is that a podcast? You tried to soften the blow with some humor, and trust me, I respect the attempt. But if you're going to try to go out with a joke, at least go out with the people who understand. Drop a meme, throw a reaction gift in there, give us something that hits. Instead, we got washed up line from a movie that came out when dial-up internet was still a thing. And listen, I'm not even going to try to bash Patterson's career. The dude's got 9 kickoff touchdowns. NFL record holder. He deserves his flowers, but at some point, the production just dried up. 1 kick return touchdown in the last 4 seasons. None since 2022. You can keep running like you can keep that back life like it's 2015. Pittsburgh brought in Kenneth Gainwell and even a 7th-round rookie to take those return reps. This tells you all you need to know. So Patterson, I hope you find your 10th touchdown return somewhere else, but next time, leave the 90s movie quotes at home, or at least check with someone under 30 before you post, because you failed. But guys, that's it for the day's show. We out.
Hey, now we live, man, our NFL talk, yeah. Now we live, man, our NFL talk. This is the show that you want. NFL raw and uncut, keeping it live. Gotta turn it up louder and get it ready for the man hour, yeah. Man hour NFL talk. Let's go.